Yo, what's going on, Vanquishers? Today we got another deck spotlight for you. We're going to be doing the big boy tank Raskin. Now, I haven't really played with Raskin, but there's another guy in the community who builds Raskin like a beast. Let's see what we can get in the starter deck. Let's rift. All right, let's get this Raskin mat going. Let me think. This 4. Yep, it is. Pull out that dice for us. Ooh, look at that purple dice. Yay. Pull out the deck. Push it down. Put our Raskin hero right there. Put our energy right there. All right. And we're starting with Raskin himself. He is Dark Class from Order 0. He is a Sentinel hero. He is standing tall and buff at 26 life, 14 shield, and 12 defense. He can wield the ranged weapons and melee weapons. His rejuvenation is 5 before V-Trigger and 6 to V-Trigger. Let's go ahead and V-Trigger. His rejuvenation is still 5 at V-Trigger. His defense went up 2 at V-Trigger from 12 to 14. And his shield went from 14 to 15. Raskin's V-Trigger ability is, at the beginning of your turn, choose a card from your exile pile and activate it. Take 2 life damage. At the beginning of your turn, before you destroy the energy to rejuvenate your shield, and before you draw a card, you take 2 life and choose a card from your exile pile and play it completely free. So this means with Raskin, you can exile anything at any time and you can get it back at the cost of 2 life damage. He is the Dark Class, so Raskin is weak to light. That is the light symbol down at the bottom for his weakness. That has not been released yet, so Raskin is not weak to anything. And he resists his own dark by 2. We got his hero weapon, the Parallax. It is a unique dark hero item. For Raskin only, it is a ranged weapon and an auto rifle. It targets for 9. And the abilities, the first one is Dark Shade. After damaging the enemy must take 1 card from their discard pile and exile it. So if you roll the dice and you successfully target the enemy and damage the enemy, you have to damage after damaging the enemy, then you can take a card from their discard pile and place it into their exile pile. The Parallax Scope, choose to turn this weapon's shield damage into targeting. So if you want some more targeting, just take the shield damage of 2 and add it to targeting for 11. If he's V-triggered, you can use Void. After damaging the enemy, so you have to target, successfully target, and then damage the enemy, pick a card, pick a random card from the exile pile and deal the storage energy cost as kinetic damage. This is why you want to do Dark Shade, to take the cards from their discard pile and place it into their exile pile to generate more chances for getting a higher cost for the kinetic damage. This Parallax does a base damage of 2 shield damage and 4 kinetic damage. We got next the energy cartridge attached to an equipped weapon to meet the weapon's energy cartridge requirement. So this will be attached to a melee weapon, a hand-to-hand weapon, or a critical art weapon. And as you can see down at the bottom, you have the little energy symbol with the number 1, and it says weapon energy. When you place this under the weapon, this will be visible to the weapon, and you will place it right in the ammo energy slot right here. You can place up to 3, and you place it down, and it will sit under your weapon like so, and you'll see it right underneath your weapon here. Go ahead and leave those there. I believe we have a weapon coming soon. Go ahead and get rid of these over here. And we have the kinetic ammunition attached to an equipped weapon to meet the weapon's ammunition requirements. Just like the energy cartridge, but it's a kinetic ammunition. And as you see down at the bottom with the bullet symbol, number 1, and it says ammunition. This is the same as the energy cartridge. You place it underneath like so, so you can see it underneath your weapons as well. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. The next card we have is an ability. This is a vitality. This will be placed under your hero. We'll show this in a second. It is superior strength for a sentinel only. Raskin is a sentinel hero. This ability attached to your hero, add 10 life points. Remains activated until end of game or until someone takes it away from using another ability card. And this will be placed right here under your hero. And as you can see down at the bottom, it says life 10 and the vitality symbol to your hero. You can see right there, it is visible, placed under your hero. And if your life is sitting at, say, 10, you add this to your hero and you can go up 20. If you have this attached to your hero and you go below 10 life and the enemy removes it, this then puts you down to 0 life and you lose. So be careful. Now we have advanced targeting. It is a support ability for a sentinel only, and you place this card face up, add 4 targeting to all ranged weapons until the end of your turn. So when you play this, you will play it down in the ability slot. You will discard this at the end of your turn. For the turn that it is active, you will add 4 targeting to all of your ranged weapons until the end of your turn. And we have 2 of those in the deck. We'll go ahead and place one right there. Now we have a trap ability, the energy barricade. It is for sentinels only. And you will play this card face down. When targeted, choose to flip this card and add 2 defense to your hero and all allies. So this trap card is one of a kind as of right now, and the only trap card that you can actually choose to flip it if you so desire. But when you are targeted, you can choose to flip it. So before they damage you, before anything, choose to flip it. But I suggest not to flip it unless adding the 2 defense takes away from them being able to actually successfully target you. So this would be placed face down right here. And it was a 3 cost, so you'll grab your trap cost card here, place over the trap card to show storage energy cost. So it's this to show your enemy, hey, I spent 3 on this card. So that way when you flip it over and you see the 3, they know that you spent the correct cost. And once you flip it over and add the 2 defense and the turn is over, go ahead and place it in the discard pile. We have another trap ability. This is the orbital shield for sentinels only. Play this card face down. When successfully targeted, your hero and allies reduce weapon damage by 3 for each weapon. So when you have this placed down, of course you will flip it and you'll place the trap indicator on for 4. So they know. Once you are successfully targeted, flip it over and you will take 3 less damage from each of their weapons. So if they have all 3 weapons, 1, 2, and 3, you'll take 3 less damage for each of those weapons. If you have reinforced shield attached, reduced by 2 more damage. So this will then reduce by 5, including the reinforced shield. So it will actually reduce by 7 for you and your allies. And once you reduce that damage and take any other damage, if there's any damage left over, you will go ahead and discard. We have a grenade ability, the kinetic grenade. This is a neutral. Any hero can use this. And with this, all you do is throw it down, and you will automatically do 1 shield damage and 3 kinetic. And then you have the 2 for splash damage. This is only for the Carnage mode, which is not out yet. But this damage will do splash damage to the enemies, to the allies of the targeted enemy. So your targeted enemy will take 3 kinetic and 1 shield, and their teammates will take the 2 splash damage. Then for the grenade ability, roll 1 die. 4 through 6 deals 1 kinetic damage. So this is a 4, 5, or 6. So you'll go to your ability die and you'll roll it. I didn't mean to roll both, but now I got a 2. So I did not get the 4, 5, or 6, so I don't add the 1 kinetic damage. And then you will place that in your discard pile. Now we have another vitality ability, the reinforced shield. Remember, we had it mentioned here with the orbital shield. So this is a vitality. It is a neutral, so any hero can use it. Attached to your hero, resist 2 shield damage. Remains activated until the end of your turn. Now at the bottom we got the vitality symbol and shield damage -2. So we'll take that, throw it under our hero, and you can see it right there. And now if we had the orbital shield out, we do have the reinforced shield attached, so we will be able to reduce the damage by 5 and then by 2 for a total of 7 because we have the reinforced shield attached. Next we have a handgun. This is a hero item, the alteration, a ranged weapon. Now this is a neutral hero weapon. Any heroes can use this, and you are able to place 4 of these in your deck. That way you can get this out quicker than your parallax to have a chance to be able to hit the enemy quicker, at least for your hero weapon. Does not require any ammunition. And then when you get the parallax, you can swap it out, but you cannot swap the alteration for the parallax. Granted, I don't think you would want to do that anyways. This targets for 6 and hits for 2 shield damage and 2 kinetic. Your abilities is rapid targeting. Once per turn, target again after missing. So let's say you roll a dice and you missed, which I don't think that is going to be a miss very much, but say I missed, then you can do the rapid targeting and roll it again. Hey, we got a 10. That could hit right there. Then you can now we also have the ability ambush. Abilities cannot stop you from targeting. Now we have a melee weapon. It is the carbon dagger, and the target for this is 1. Why so low? We'll check out the abilities. The first ability is blink. After targeting, add the number on the ability die to your targeting. So after we target this ability die, we add that number to it. So it's 3, 4. So this base targeting would be 4, and then 4 plus 3 and 1 will be 8. So the targeting will be 8, and that sadly does not hit any enemies. The kinetic damage is 3, and the second ability is deadly. When 2 carbon daggers are equipped, add 2 kinetic damage. So if you have 2 of them out on the board, like so, and you successfully targeted, the 3 kinetic damage goes up to 5, and this will be 5 per dagger, so a total of 10. Now we have a SMG item called the Nova from the Rifle Company faction. It is also a ranged weapon. This targets for 6 and hits for 3 kinetic damage. Your abilities are Ammo Reserve and Discharge. Ammo Reserve is attach 1 extra kinetic ammunition to this weapon. So this will actually be a exception to being able to add more kinetic ammunition to your weapons. It requires 2 ammunitions to be able to target with this weapon. But because of Ammo Reserve, we can add 1 more to the weapon. So we can have up to 3 on this weapon, and then Discharge, choose to remove 1 ammo and attach to another equipped weapon. Let's go ahead and get it to the Mortis here, and then we'll get back to Discharge here. The Mortis is a SMG item, a ranged weapon from the Triconian Rift faction. This targets for 6 and does 4 kinetic damage. The first ability is Shift. When equipping this weapon, immediately draw a card. Now when you're actually playing the game, if I want to swap out the Mortis for the Carbon Dagger, I can. The Mortis is more than the Carbon Dagger, so I can swap it out. By doing so, I will discard the Carbon Dagger, and then both of these ammo weapons will then get placed back into the deck and shuffled. But we'll just place them here for the time being. I place down the Mortis, and once I place it down, I can draw a card. Boom, draw the card. The V-Trigger ability is multiple targets. After damaging the enemy, choose any enemy and deal half the damage of this weapon. So in this case, half of 4 is 2, and during a 1v1, there's no other enemy to target, so you're targeting the same enemy, so you'll just do half the damage to that same enemy, which will end up being 6. Now, we have this placed down. We need 2 ammunition, but we only have 1. We only have 1 ammunition in our hand. Place it down. But wait, we did the ammo reserve on this one. So we have 1 ammunition on reserve here. So go ahead and take it, place it over here, and now you have both weapons activated because you were able to store 1 on this weapon to be able to discharge it and add it to this one. Oh, we got the D1 Strat 10, also known as the Distraction, for the Nebulae faction. This is a handgun, targets for 4 and hits for 2 kinetic damage. We have the Ultimate Chaos. Shout out to Chaos. He's a OG in the community. When discarding this weapon, deal 2 kinetic damage to any enemy. So if you have this weapon down and you say, hey, I want to swap this out for another weapon, discard it, boom, 2 damage right there. We got 2 of these in the deck. We got the Revo. It's a handgun, ranged weapon, belongs to no faction, targets for 5, 0 kinetic. What? Why would you want to use this? Well, hold on, we got the revolving rounds. After successfully targeting, deal the number on the ability die as your kinetic damage. What does that mean? Let's go. We're gonna roll. We got a 7. So 5 and 7 is 12. And on the ability die, the purple one, we got a 5. So revolving rounds is after successfully targeting, deal the number on the ability die as your kinetic damage. So now this does 5 kinetic damage. That's pretty good for a handgun. Look, these are only doing 4 and 3, and this handgun just did 5. Yes, if you do roll a 2, it does 2 kinetic damage, but you have the chance of being able to do 6 kinetic damage. There's a 4. That's the last one. Alrighty. There's your big, beefy, tanky Raskin starter deck for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what your favorite card on the deck is. Leave a comment. Jump on over to the next video and check out me playing Raskin in action. Is that a little rhyme? Anyways, Nebulae out.